Hello, it's Danielle with Teaching with Finesse, and I'm here to show you classkick. Now, I love this tool. I use it mainly for small groups, whether it's reading or math, and it's such a cool tool to add to your arsenal, whether you're distance learning or hybrid or face-to-face. So here's what it looks like when you log in as a teacher. This is your assignment page. I've got the basic version. With the basic version, you have up to 10 assignments you can make. You have unlimited rosters, and that's pretty much like the basics. If you get the pro, I believe it's like 90 something dollars for the entire year. And you might have the option to pay monthly, and I think it's like $10 monthly. So it's probably just better to get the whole thing for the whole year. But those are your options with the pro. The one thing that I know is a great plus is the integration with Google Classroom. So you can import your classes. If you create an assignment, you can import it to your Google Classroom. So just having that easy access to import back and forth between Google Classroom, I think is a plus if you do want to pay for it. And then you have a limited amount of assignments for the pro version. But the free version works just as well, especially if you're just getting started and trying to figure out how you're using it and what you're going to use it for. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So here's, again, the assignment page. Then you have your roster page. Like I said, with the basic and pro, you can have unlimited amount of rosters. So it works great for those teachers who teach multiple classes. And here I just have a mock class, but again, to add a class, you just hit that green sign. And then if you have the paid version, you can upload your class from Google Classroom, or you'll just type in your kid's name really quickly. And then here, notifications, that's just like for your students who raise their hand or need help. And then I'll show you what that looks like later on. And then the rest is just like personal teacher things. So to create an assignment, you would hit this green plus sign at the top. You've got creating a new blank assignment and then creating an assignment from a file. This works great for those of you who have like PDFs and you want to have your students work on worksheets. This is just another avenue to go and for your kids, because that way, like let's say you wanted to see your kids work on it, you can see them work on it because it's all done in real time. So if your kids are working on it, you will see them working on it. So this is just a great great opportunity using this app for those of us who want to continue to use those worksheets. So this is just another tool. And then just, again, your basic creating a blank. So here's what it looks like to create a blank. You would just title it, assign it to your class, and then you can view the work. I'll show you what all these look like in a second. And then here you would just create a new slide. So I'm going to go back to one that I've already done just for the sake of time. All right, so I'm going to go to the telling time. I've got all these already here. Let's say I wanted to add more. I don't want to go through the multiple steps that I took to get these done. I can hit duplicate. So let's say it's the same blank canvas that you want, and all you're doing is like changing like little things. So for this one, I'm just changing the time on it. So I can hit duplicate, and then it will populate, and then I could just go in and click in and change the time. So to add a text, you would just hit the T, click it, and you can type in it. You can change the color. If you want to add a background to the text, like highlight, you could. And then here you can change the font size. I'm going to go ahead and delete it because it's already there. And then this is something that it's a image that I added using the manipulatives. So here's like your toolbar. Here's your pen / pencil. Then you've got your highlighter, eraser. You can change the colors in your pencil. Here I have it. For me, I pick purple. It's my favorite color, and then I tell them like you can't use this color. You can use any other color, just so you can, know if it like you can differentiate between your work and the student's work or writing. And then you can change the thickness of your pencil or pen. Again, I just showed you the text. You can add in a line, you can add links, you can add images, you can also add audio, which helps if those kids who want to be a little bit more independent, but also might be a struggling reader. This is great. You can go ahead and record the directions and they can do it on their own just to give them that sense of independence. Here is adding in manipulatives, and I'll show you this in a second. You can add in fill in the blanks, which work great, especially if you're starting your assignment, if you're using an assignment from a PDF, and then multiple choice, and then here are stickers that you can add. So I'm going to add this. I use this as a manipulative. Let me go back to my pointer. And so here again it's an example of how you can use this for reading with building words. So I'm going to go to select file. I already have the file that I wanted, so I'm just going to go ahead and click the clock that I want. Hit next. You can choose what page you want to show up on. And then you can add another, but I'm just going to go ahead and do finish. And then it will pop up on your screen. And so here we go. So here it is. As you can see, it did add. You can adjust the size to it and make it whatever size you want. So that's how you can add in your manipulatives, which will work great for distance learning, hybrid learning, or face-to-face if when we can't share our materials. All right, so now that I've gotten it built, I'm going to go ahead and go back and show you how you can assign it. So you would just go ahead and hit assign. You can add in the subject or grade if you'd like. You don't have to, that's perfectly fine. Here, you can have it where your kids have access only, or like your colleagues can access it and make a copy for themselves. And I've done the shared version with my former co-teacher when we worked together, basically with everything. So this helps for those of you who guys co-teach. You have one teacher make the math, one teacher make the ELA. You can also incorporate science and social studies. So that's just a great way to be able to share amongst your team. You can assign work here. This works with the grade, so if you use the stickers, you can add a point value to the sticker, and then whichever one you drag over, it will calculate the points that there are. Helpers means to have student helpers. This is great for your kids who are level 4 and you want to give them the opportunity to show that leadership and show hey, I know this enough to where I can teach it. This works great. I normally don't do this in the beginning of the year just so they can get used to the app and we can, build those expectations and procedures that comes along with you being a helper. You can lock it so the kids can't change or do anything to it, but I've never had that problem. And then your class code is something that is populated when you create an assignment and you assign it to a class. They will have this class code. And this is what the students will type in to access the work. Again, if you have the Pro version, you can actually import this into Google Classroom. Otherwise, when I was in the classroom, I would just type it on the board and the kids knew where it was. They would type in their names and get started. If you are doing distance learning, you can easily put it in Google Classroom with whatever the code is, and that's fine. I work on a standard for basically a week, so I keep the same assignment. That way it's not like a code every single day. It's really just one code for the week, and I just add slides to the assignment. So I'm just going to show you quickly So here's like if it wasn't assigned to anyone, you would hit assign a roster. I'm going to do my mock class, and as you can see, it populated here. It automatically populates for helpers, so just make sure you pay attention if you don't want helpers yet to make sure you have that off. As you can see, the code populated, and each time you add a class, it's going to have a different code. So for those of you who have multiple classes, it's great because it's not, each class gets its own code. And then for viewing student work, so when your students are up here, you'll be able to see them working. So right now I don't have anything up here for my students. So, or like you can't see anyone working. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you the student version. All right, so this is what the kids will look like. So when you get in classkick, you will hit login. It says login as a student or a teacher. I normally just copy this part right here and add it on like my class website. For those of you who would use computers, they would just click on the image. They would click on the icon and it takes them straight to this page right here. If you use an iPad, all you have to do is click the app and it will pop up just like this, and they would type in the code. So let me see what my code is so I can type it in. All right, so FST, and the kids don't have to worry about putting caps or anything because it automatically types in caps, and the students will put in their name, and then you hit continue. One thing, because this has happened to me, if you don't lock it, students can type in random names and it will populate on your roster, but if you lock it, that does not happen. All right, so here is an example. I'm going to do view work so you can see what the teacher can see. So as you can see, Danielle has logged in, and this is the one that Danielle is on. So here's the students right here, and I'm literally, if you see, you'll see it moving over and over. So each one I'm on is the one that the teacher will see. So if it's outlined in a border, that's the one that the student is on. So let's say I normally have it on here and I just look, and like for those kids who I know who need my help, I will automatically go to their slides and just make sure they're starting off on the right foot. This works great because kids can work at their own pace. It's not like, the traditional way of a small group. You throw out a problem, kids solve it at a different pace. You have one kid who might solve it just a tad bit slower and the other kids are waiting. This kind of alleviates that because kids can work at their own pace. I normally create a whole bunch of slides that I know, the students are not going to get through within the week or whatever, and then, or at least by day. And so the kids can work at their own pace. So if, John is a fast worker, he can get his stuff done and get my attention when he needs me. And then if, Dominique needs a little more time, she can have that time without feeling rushed or embarrassed that she's taking longer than her classmates. All right, so I'm going to show you. So let's say Danielle's up here and she's working, and I just want to see what she is doing. So it will tell you are helping Danielle on slide 3. If I were to go away from this slide, if I were to go away, this part will go away because I'm not currently on that slide. And I believe for the students, it will show, at least on the iPad version, it shows that the teacher is helping. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my pencil. Remember, I always tell the kids to use a different color than I'm using. So it's 3:15, so they would draw 3. And of course, it's not going to be the best simply because it is digital, but 3:15. But as you see me working, it populates on the teacher's side. So that's, again, because it is real time, as the students are working, it will pop up on your screen and vice versa. So let's say I'm the teacher and I wanted to write something. As you can see, it populated on their screen as well. Now, for the kids, sometimes sometimes I'll circle something and say fix it, and it might be in the way because the kids can't erase what I do. Um, they can hit this little squiggly line, and it will take away the teacher's writing. So let's say Danielle did this and she wanted me to check her work. She can hit the little hand right here and she can hit please check. If she needed help, she can hit please help. So let's say I hit that. I will get a notification as the teacher and it will tell me which student has raised their hand and what question they're on. And then I can just click on this and it will take me to that question. But since I'm already there, it's here. So I would go through, help that student, and once I help them, it goes away. So after you help, that hand is put down. Now, if kids accidentally raise their hand, they can put their hand, so let's say I did please check, and they didn't mean to do that, they can put their hand down, and then your notification will go away. So yeah, I think this is really cool just because, of the effect of real time and be able to have that. You can also, as a teacher, add stickers if you want to. You would just double click it and it would pop up. It should pop up on the student side, but sometimes it's a delay. But yeah, you guys get the idea. It should pop up, but my computer is being a little slow. So yeah, you would have this and then it would pop up on the student side. Actually, yes it does. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I forgot I had this on. So let me just erase these squiggly lines. And let's say I just wanted to add a sticker and then there is the sticker and again, the kids will see it. So if I move it around over here, it's going to move for the kids. If I move it around over here, it's going to move for the student over here. I'm just going to delete it. So that is the great part. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the student version. And I'm going to go back to home and I'm just going to show you like the manipulative, like actual manipulatives and using them. So here's an example of one. So let's just say I pull all this back. So what I did, and like you would with any kind of like drag and drop, you just copy it multiple times and then just stack them on top of each other. So you could just copy it and then go ahead and stack up on top of each other just like this. And then you'll have like those multiple pieces. So like I would use this like, of course, when doing money. And, with distance learning and being face-to-face, we don't have that opportunity to really have like those tactile manipulatives, especially with face-to-face, and there just being different regulations and rules for each county and state. So if you're in a county or a state that says, no, you can't have any shared materials, this is another opportunity. This is another way to use this application or tool with your kids. That way it's kind of like working in live, like in real time, where you can like see them working and you can kind of like help with those misconceptions as they are working, versus like going on like another website where it's like manipulatives for the kids, but you kind of have to like hover over to see them do it. And then with distance learning, you won't be able to see them do those things. So just a thought for using manipulatives in the classroom. So let's say I wanted a kid to do to create 65 cents or make 65 cents. I can use my coins, again, just drag and drop them over. and create 65 cents. Now you can also like teach them like, all right, I'm not going to use 65 ones, boys and girls. Like, let's really think through the process of really using all of our coins together. Again, that's just, you know, those expectations and all those things that you would go over with your kids. So that completes this tutorial. I really hope this helps, whether you are online, a hybrid model, or face to face. I hope that this, you know, is a new tool that you can use in your classroom and just be, you know, innovative. So thank you so much for listening and watching. Feel free to reach out to me if you need me. Teaching with Finesse 1@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram, teaching with finesse _. You have to do the underscore in order to find me. So thank you so much.